Welcome everyone. Today I will be discussing about ASCII or ASCII. So what ASCII is and or the purpose of the ASCII, why we should consider ASCII. So it stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So let's say you are writing something, a program. So as you can see, this is the basic C program. So here we have used this hash or preprocessor. It is the special character. It's kind of special character. Then we have INCLUD include these. These are all English alphabet letters. So all these letters, all of these characters or letters, what we have in our English alphabet, these are all ASCII codes. So first of all, we will have to consider one thing, that is what is an alphabet. An alphabet is nothing but a set of characters or set of letters which comes in some specific order. So when we are talking about English alphabet, so B always comes after the A, C always comes after the B, and it goes like that. There is a sequence which is specific. For English we have English alphabet, for Bengali, for Hindi, for Marathi, for Telugu, Tamil, for all other languages out there we have alphabets for those languages. And alphabets mean it's a order of characters. It's a specific order of characters or set of characters or letters that come in some specific order, like A to Z, not Z to A. So our English alphabet, it contains the characters starting from A to Z. Similarly, like that, we have decimal number system which we use in our daily life, which starts from 0 and ends at 9. So these are not alphabet, but these are also some type of characters. When I'm talking about 0, it's a number, but it can be expressed as a character. So 1, 2, 3, these are all numbers, but also they can be expressed as a character. Now, so why we do need ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange? So when we are talking about the significance of ASCII or ASCII, then first we have to understand that when we are operating on computers, mobile, laptop, any computer, electronic device. So electronic device means I am talking about digital electronic devices which work with these numbers and these letters from alphabet of any kind of language, English, Japanese, Russian, any language. Say they all will have some alphabet, and alphabet will again have characters like this A to Z, A B C D. All those are characters or letters. And numbers they do not belong to some language. When we are talking about 0 to 9, when you are combining 0, any number which comes between 0 to 9, that will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 9, but you can make any number using this range, means using 0 and 9, 0 to 9. So you can also make 125. I'm taking 1 which is within the 0 to 9 range, taking 2 which is again 2 is within the range, 5 and any other number. They are all within the 0 to 9 range. So I can also make a very big number like this, considering this range 0 to 9. So when we are talking about numbers, more specifically decimal numbers or numbers that belong to the decimal number system, we will have this range 0 to 9. And when we are talking about alphabet means the specific order of characters or letters which will make a character set, and that is specific to some language. The German language itself is a language, and there will be we use English letters there, but for all languages, if we consider Chinese language, then this will have this Chinese language will have an alphabet. So for every other language we have, for any other language we will have an alphabet for that. An alphabet will further contain the characters or letters that will come in some specific order, one after the another. So now we understand the decimal number system, its range and also the alphabet. Now let us consider this small program, which is the hash part. This is the preprocessor. The hash is the preprocessor, and hash is again a special character. This does not belong to the English alphabet or the decimal number system. It is just a special character, and all similar like the decimal number system, it is language independent. It is not dependent on any language. So when we are using Chinese or any other German or any other language, Russian, we do not need to think about a special character, because a special character itself is a special character, and there is no alternative for this or that specific character or special character. So also this 0 to 9, this decimal number system, this range, this is also language independent, because it is not any of these numbers, these are not dependent on any language. Only this thing will change. For this is the English alphabet. For Chinese, there are also a Chinese alphabet. There will be something else, some set of characters or character set, and this will definitely come in some order, because when we are talking about alphabet itself means that the character set or characters it provides, they will come in some specific order. Now we have again, so these belong to the English alphabet, INCLUE. Again, this also belong to the English alphabet. This will belong to special character. Again, these angular opening and closing brackets, this will also belong to the special character. So these are all language independent. Then again, this belong to the English alphabet. Parentheses. Now we have parentheses. This first bracket and closing, the first bracket, the opening and closing. In programming sense, when programming is discussed, in case of programming, this first bracket, opening and closing, these are known as the parentheses. So parentheses, so these are the parentheses, and again these parentheses, these are the special characters. So this will be language independent. Similarly, these and these opening and closing braces, these are also language independent. This again belongs to the English alphabet, because most of the programming languages out there, they are mainly designed in English language. So these keywords or function identifiers or simply identifiers, these are the identifiers. Function, but the name itself, this is known as the identifier. So this function name, Also in case of C language, these are also known as token. So these all belong to the English alphabet. And again I have used special character which is double quote. This is again the platform language independent, and this again belongs to the English alphabet. So for now we understand that having the decimal number system, the English alphabet, and a set of special characters are very much important and required. So ASCII, what is ASCII? ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. This provides us a character set. Character set means similarly like that alphabet, ASCII itself has an alphabet. So this alphabet, it will also have some specific order of its characters, or the characters or letters. It's better to say characters because there will be also numbers, there will be also special characters. So they are not letters, they are characters. So letters are only the characters which belong to some alphabet. So only they will be known as the letters, and rest of the things like numbers and special characters, they are known as the character. So character is a universal thing, universal term. Now, so ASCII, how many characters are there in its character set? So it will have a character set. Let's say this is a character pool or character set. We have characters here, lot of characters. So how many characters it can hold, or how many characters ASCII can hold, or ASCII can hold? A simple methodology is there, that is, the rule is ASCII always represents any of its characters in its character set using 7 bits. So let's say I am taking this character, whatever it is, I am taking this character and I want to represent this character, because our hardware that doesn't understand this alphabet, this decimal number system, and also the special characters, it only understands 0 and 1, the binary form. So let's say this is a hash character, special character. So now hash is there, it exists in the ASCII character pool or character set. Now to represent this character, this special character, ASCII will apply some method, that is, it will represent this number using 7 bits. So we can say ASCII uses 7 bits, mean it can be 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 bits are there. So ASCII uses 7 bits to represent any of its characters in its character set. But one thing to note, that is, it will use one extra bit which is known as the parity bit. Again, the parity bit is a bit, an extra bit used for an extra bit to perform error checking. So the summary, what's the summary right now? The summary becomes ASCII itself a character set, better to say a character encoding scheme. So ASCII, what is this? Character encoding scheme. So for now, also quotes, comma. So you will find all of those special characters in your keyboard. So for now, just let us gather the total details. What is ASCII? ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So what is this actually? It is a character encoding scheme. Character encoding schemes mean we have an alphabet for any language. This could be any language: English, German, Chinese, Russian, any language. So for every language there, we will be having an alphabet. Alphabet contains the characters used, or the letters, most specifically the letters used in that specific language, be it any language, but those letters are specific to only that language. So when we are talking here, in this case, we have used English alphabet. It will be having A to Z. So all the letters we have starts from the A and ends at the Z, and they will be in proper order. So they cannot be unordered. A will after A there will be B, and then C, then D. It will go like that. We cannot just write randomly. So there is a sense of order, and we have the decimal number system where the range is from 0 to 9. So any number that can be we can make using this range. We're not talking about 1, 2, 3, 2. These are number. Okay, so this number can be formed or can be made using by following this decimal number system, and these are the special characters. And all of these characters, these are all included in the ASCII character set. ASCII is a character encoding scheme that it will encode all of these characters, because your computer hardware cannot understand these the universal term for these letters, these numbers and special characters, the universal terms that satisfy all of these characters, that is characters. Character is the umbrella term. Umbrella term means the term used for any of these. It means that the letters used in English alphabet, that is also, they also can be called as the character. The 0 to 9, that can also be called as character. Special characters are also characters, and these all characters are included in the ASCII character set or character pool. And ASCII uses 7 bits to express these characters. Let's say I am talking about the hash. A hash already is present in this character set, and so just assume that this the binary code or 7 bits for this hash, it will start from here and end will here. And this is the basic idea, that it will express any of the characters in its character pool or character set by using only 7 bits. But 1 bit is added to the left side because it serves some other purpose also. That purpose is an extra bit to perform error checking. Means this extra bit, this will always be 0. It is used to do some error checking in the future, for not for now but for future. And the main series of bits is this thing, these 7 bits. So this number can be anything, all can be 1, all can be 0, in any order. So only 7 bits will be used to express any of these characters in its character set, and one extra bit, which is 0, will be used at the leftmost side. That will be called a parity bit, and parity bit is used to perform some kind of error checking. Why error checking is required? Just assume that you have two devices, one is master and another one is slave, and or simply a device and a host. Just there are two devices, device A and device B, and these two devices, they are transforming, they are just communicating with each other by sending this data. Let's assume this is any kind of communication, simplex, half duplex or full duplex, and A and B both are sending data which contains these characters, but this will be not transferred like simply these characters. They will be encoded through ASCII encoding. So before sending or utilizing any kind of data, when I am writing a programming language, any source code, any code that will contain these things, because most of the programming languages are designed in English and written in English, so it will contain the English alphabet, then 0 to 9 the decimal number system numbers, and finally special characters, all those parentheses and braces, brackets, comma, hashes, quotes, exclamations, all. So they will not be transferred to one location to another, from one device to another, as simply they are. They will be encoded using ASCII or Unicode. We will see that later. Unicode 8 and 16, we'll see that later. For now, let's say we have only these characters. Unicode is another encoding scheme that can also encode these characters, but that will give you more support to languages, other languages. Like this, as I said, the decimal number system, we do not have any problem with decimal number system 0 to 9 and the special characters, because these are all language independent. These are not dependent on any language, but this alphabet is dependent on languages. So for English, this will be English alphabet. For Chinese, for any other language, the alphabet will be changed. So in that case, ASCII is not that much helpful. When we are working with only ASCII, then we can, when we are only working with English, then we can make use of ASCII. But if there is Chinese language, then I simply cannot include the Chinese. Actually there is a way to include extend ASCII. We can also extend this ASCII. How I will be saying that. But for now, just finish this conversation where we have two devices and they are transferring data to each other, and they cannot just send data like this. This will be encoded using ASCII or some other encoding scheme like UTF-8 or UTF-16. So whatever there is, they will be encoded finally. So in case of ASCII, they will be encoded by converting this. Encoding itself is conversion process, and it is two-way process. You can decoded also. So this can be decoded to using some decoder or decoding. The process is the decoding or encoding, and the mechanism or the system which does that is known as the encoder or decoder. So here I will have to send the hash character to device A to device B through the encoding or through the conversion. So ASCII itself, it will contain all those characters. Hash is the special character here, and ASCII is a table. It will give you a table where things will be written like that. All the characters will be like this. On the top, it will be character. You will have all those characters. How many characters are there in ASCII pool or ASCII character set? I will be saying that. Now we have character, chars, and the decimal counterparts or corresponding decimal value. We can have also binary, we can also have octal, also hex. So these are tables. The table works like this. And let's say we have the hash character here, and hash character, it got some decimal value. I do not remember what is the value is. Let's say this is the value of 111. Let's say this is the value. So this is the decimal value, or the corresponding decimal value is 111 for hash. Just assume. Now even the 111 cannot be sent like this. Now, so in the character list, this is a total character set or character list. Here I have the hash character, special character, and the corresponding decimal value for this character is 111 or 112 or anything else. Now the binary, if I convert the 112 or 111 or any decimal value, the corresponding decimal value for a character, I will also have to, when I am actually trying to send that over a network or over some kind of communication channel, I will have to first encode this to the binary or convert this to binary. So the binary value for this, let's say this value is this. So 0001010. ASCII will use 7 bits to express any of its characters in its character set, and will add 10. It will not be 1, it will only be 0 at the leftmost side, and this will be called as parity bit. So this parity bit is required when I am sending this series of binary digits or bits. I will have to, if I want to send send the hash over this network, over this communication channel, then I will have to first convert this or encode this character in 7 bits. Means the ASCII table, ASCII is not a mechanism, ASCII is just a table. It tells us how to what will be the corresponding decimal value and binary or values in any other number system for that particular character. So for hash we have 112 or any other number, the decimal number, and it can also be encoded or converted to binary, to octal, to hexadecimal. So basically we work with the binary, so these are not required for most of the time. So for now, if I want to send or transfer the hash over this network from A to B or B to A, then I will have to convert this character by following this table, and this will be this. Basically this is known by our computer system. So he will be doing the conversion behind the scene. We do not need to worry about the conversion process. It will be doing the things. It is programmed like that way. The operating system, it will be taking care of this thing. See the final file, which is generated by a linker. Linker takes object code and then finally generates the exe file. That file is understandable by the operating system but not the CPU, because it is not the native language. It is not. It doesn't contain the machine language or the native machine code. So native machine code means the 10. If you open a exe file, if you open an exe file in any kind of text editor or word processor, you will not see any series of 10. You will see some random characters are there. So all of those characters are understandable. What they are saying, the meaning of those characters, which is actually compiled, which is compiled by the compiler, assembler, linker. All of them they have done something to that source file, and finally we have got the exe file, and this file will be understandable by the operating system, and finally operating system will make sure that the CPU gets only the 10, the series of machine cores. So all of those, so finally we can see that the hardware is working with the 1 and 0, so it will be there. So the operating system or the system before the hardware, so operating system is the closest part of the hardware that works with the hardware or access the hardware level APIs. That system is known as the operating system kernel. So it's the responsibility of the operating system to do these conversions, either making use of ASCII or use some other kind of encoding scheme like UTF-8 or UTF-16. So at the end of the process, we will get if it is in ASCII, we will be getting 0001010, and finally one parity bit at the leftmost side. The leftmost side contains the parity bit, which is extra bit. Perform error checking. So when I'm sending this series of bits or digits, so as it is not as an individual number, the whole number, the number itself contains 7 digits. So there can be a digit loss. Digit loss means when I'm sending this series of bits, so one or more digits, they can be lost. So this parity bit, this 0, is used before the series to make sure that there is no digit loss. So there is some kind of mechanism at the end who is receiving the data for the series of bits, 7 bits, will make use of this parity bit to make sure there is no digit loss. So this is used for error checking, and this is mostly used for telecommunication matters. So in case of telecommunication or communication systems, when two devices are involved in data transmission, in all of those cases in computer system, when you are transferring some file to the USB or copying some data to the DVD disk, the writable DVD disk, or any kind of media, so you are actually doing the data transmission. In those cases, parity bit has a vital role to play. It will be used to do some error checking. So as for now, we understand that ASCII always represents a number using 7 bits, and the base of the ASCII and the base of the binary language, because when we are talking about bits, we are talking about binary. So binary digits are known as the bits. So the base is binary, which is again 2. And it requires 7 bits to express any character. So 7 is the power. So base and power, if I find out what's the number, it will be 128. So what we know, ASCII will contain 128 characters because ASCII represents each of its characters using 7 bits, and bits is about binary, and binary, the base of the binary number system is 2, and as it expresses any character using just 7 bits, so it will be 2 to the power 7, 128 characters. And what we have not calculated, we have not added that extra 0, because that's extra, that is not required by the ASCII. ASCII only takes 7 bits to express any character. So we will not take that extra 0 into consideration, because if we add if we consider that extra 0, that parity bit, then it will become 8, and when 7 becomes 8, this will be 256 characters. So rather than considering that parity bit, what we do, we can extend the ASCII by applying the same rule. So when we are ignoring that parity bit was actually additional. That was not mandatory. That was additional to do some parity checking or error checking in the future when there is a data transmission. So if we do not consider the data transmission, the telecommunication part or communication part, then we can definitely extend this ASCII just adding one more digit, one more bit to the 7. If I do 7 plus 1 means I had to use only 7 bits to express any character. So, and 0 was extra, and it was the parity bit and making it total of 8 bits. So rather than using that parity bit, if I just use another bit that could be 0 or 1, so then the ASCII, the table itself, ASCII at the end of the day, ASCII just gives you a table of the corresponding decimal values and all other values in those other number systems for each character that ASCII has in its character set. So if we extend the, if we ignore that parity bit, if you just if we do not consider that parity bit, and rather than using that parity bit, we are placing one bit which can be either 0 or either 1, then it will be automatically extended. The ASCII table, it will be extended by 256 characters, means 7 plus 1. I am not taking that parity bit into consideration. I am just using or adding another bit which could be 0 or 1, like 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 0. Let's say this is also 1 byte of code or 1 byte of bits. 8 bits always make 1 byte. So here I was using this was 0 for any character in the character set. It just took only 7 bits and 0 was parity there, but right now I will not use that parity bit, and rather than doing that I am using one bit which is a 1. This bit is 1. This also could be 0, but that's not a parity bit. That's only a 0 itself. It means some bit, and it will be taken into consideration for a character. It is valid. So now this will be as 2 to the power 8. I was taking only 7 bits then. Now I am taking the total of 8 bits and no parity bits are there. I am not adding any parity bit. So this will become 2 to the power 8, which is again 256 characters. So we can say we have extended the ASCII. So this is ASCII. This is extended ASCII. This is the extended ASCII, which contains 256 characters. Now there is a twist, that is the decimal values. It starts from the 0. So when we are talking about 128 characters, means the basic standard ASCII table, then it will start at decimal value 0 and will end at 127. So basically we have 128 characters, and in case of extended ASCII, this will be also 0 starting from 0 and 256 this will be 255, and between these values this will contain all of those characters. This is standard ASCII, this is standard, this one is the extended. This list is called extended ASCII. And now one thing that should be taken into consideration, that is, so basic characters. What are the basic characters that the characters for which we have to remember the values? So our ASCII contains A to Z, 0 to 9. Oh, one more thing. Why we should extend the ASCII? When you extend the ASCII, let's say we have 0 to 255 characters, extended ASCII. So we basically have 256 characters, and the decimal range starts from a value, the corresponding value for those characters in its character set, that will start from the 0 and end at the 255. So basically we can say total of 256 characters. So what are those extra characters? So all of these characters, English alphabet A to Z, 0 to 9 in decimal system, and all those special characters, they all are covered within the 128 characters, means the 0 to 127. Those are all covered between the 0 to 127 range. So what is the case with the rest of the other characters? So how do we get the extra characters? Because now we have extended the ASCII and now we can support 256 up to 256 characters. Now you can design your own ASCII table, and doing that you can make use of all of those empty spaces to support your own set of characters. Like if you are Chinese, then in the older days they used to consider this system, this mechanism, where a special for every country, for every region, they used to have designed the ASCII table as their own. It means for Chinese, they used to modify this ASCII table to support the Chinese language. For other countries, other regions, they also used this ASCII table, the extended version, not the standard version. Standard version there is no empty space in the standard ASCII, because all of the 128 characters they have utilized. There is no empty space. In case of extended ASCII, we still have empty spaces where we can support more characters. In those cases, what they did for regions, for different countries and regions, they used to modify this ASCII table to support their own character set. Like for Chinese, there will be a support for Chinese alphabet. They will not modify these things. A to Z, they will not tamper with the standard ASCII. They will only be adding their own set of characters to the extended ASCII list. But this will create some problem like if we have a character, what is 200 is the value, decimal value 200 is not present in the standard ASCII. So we will definitely we can understand that if there is 200 value, that means we have extended that standard ASCII, and now that value is omega. Let's say I'm not sure what is the actual character, but in case of 200, you will have to assign. Actually, it's not about making sure. I cannot be sure, because I can only be sure up to the 127 value, because the standard ASCII, the end character, the last character got this value 127. So no one can tell what will be the character for the 200 value, the decimal value. Let's say I'm Chinese or any other region, and I have extended my ASCII table and added my own character set, and after doing that I have 200 assigned to omega. And someone else, I'm Chinese, let's say in German or some other country or region, they have assigned the same number to hash or some other character. Now there will be a character conflict. If I write there, if I have some data I'm sending to them, this can be an email or some data in any other form. When I'm sending them this data, and I have also extended my ASCII table, and they have also extended their ASCII table, and they have assigned hash to their 200 value, and we have assigned omega to our 200 value in our table and this in their table. Now I'm sending him to that country this data which contains some data which contains the values, decimal values, or the binary, the ultimate binary form, which actually comes from the standard ASCII. So I have sent them some data to that country. Few of them are from the standard ASCII and few of them are from the extended ASCII. So for the standard ASCII there will be no problem, because standard ASCII is same for every region or every country at that time, even now also, because the standard ASCII is same for everyone, for every country and region. But the extended ASCII, what they did, they just modified the standard ASCII, means they had to extend the ASCII, and they will even have more character support, which is up to 256 characters, or the decimal value is 255. Now they have assigned hash to their 200 in their table, and I have assigned omega in my 200 in my table. I'm sending in some data to that country, and for all those data or characters which belong to the standard ASCII, they will be same. But the other thing, like I'm sending them 100. So for 100, whatever, let's say we have 100, right? So it will be any English alphabet in small letter. Let's say it is M. So if it is M, so for them also, for that country also, this will be M, because this is the 100, it comes from the standard ASCII, and 200, this is self-created, self-extended. We have extended the ASCII for our own convenience, and they have also did the same thing. So there is a conflict of data, means for character. How we are sending them the M and omega, how it will be done? We will be converting the 100 to binary and 200 to binary. We will be sending the binary form, which will get finally converted into M, and this will be M. So M omega, but this will be M hash. So I will be sending them M omega, and they will be getting M hash. So there is a data conflict or character conflict. So for this reason, ASCII is not suitable for these cases. When we have a requirement for more than 128 characters, then we will be using like a German language or any other character that doesn't belong to the ASCII character set. Like say any Chinese letter or any other those types of letter or character which is not included in our ASCII character set. Then remember just all of those garbage values. When doing C programming, you will see a lot of garbage values that are coming on the console, or when you are opening the object file or exe file in some kind of text editor or you will also see there is there are a lot of garbage characters or random characters that you will not understand. So in these cases, we will be making use of Unicode characters or UTF-8 or the mechanism itself, like the encoding scheme ASCII, those encoding schemes which supports many characters. Those are known as UTF-8 and 16. So I will be discussing about the UTF-8 and 16 later, but for this session, let us just understand what is the problem with the extended ASCII. ASCII supports 128 characters and the extended ASCII supports 256 characters. I am sending him 100 and 200. M is for 100, and in my table, in my extended ASCII table, I have assigned omega to 200, and this is also same for them, and they have assigned the hash in the 200. So I will be sending them omega and it will become M hash. So this is the case. It's like I am sending them M omega. This will be M hash, because in my table I have 100 which is assigned to M, and in their table also for standard ASCII this will be same, and 200 I have assigned omega and 200 they have assigned hash. So this is what happens. I will be sending the binary form of M, which is the ASCII value 100. I will converting the 100 to the binary form. I will be sending in the binary, which is again converted to the decimal the corresponding decimal of the M or the M value. I will get the M value. He will get the M value, and again I am sending 200. So 200 will be converted into binary form, and the binary form I will be sending to him. And again from that the decoding process will take place, and the 200 will be converted. He will be getting the binary. So the binary will be converted to the 200, and finally the 200 is in their table, in their extended ASCII table they have assigned hash. So he will be getting M hash. So this is a data conflict or character conflict. So this is the main problem of extended ASCII. To solve this thing, to control this thing, so we can support a lot of characters. We will be making use of UTF-8 and the 16 respectively. So let us now check basic ASCII values or corresponding decimal values for those ASCII character set characters. So first let us know 0 to 9. For 0 to 9 we have 48 to 57 decimal range or values. For capital A to Z we have it should be 65 to 90. For small a to z we should have 97 to 122. Make sure if these are right, but as per my memory, as I can recall right now, these should be the values. So for 0 to 9 this should be 48 to 57. Just check once if these are right. Still for capital A to Z 65 to 90, and for small a to z these are 97 to 120. So in order to send these to express any of the characters between these ranges, and there are also special characters, they also got their own values, but most of the times you will be working with this decimal number system numbers and the capital or small a to z alphabet letters. So these are the corresponding decimal values for these characters. and this will be finally converted, expressed in 7 bits or binary form of 7 bits. And if you are working with only 128 characters of the standard API, then you will have to include that parity bit, that is mandatory, that's 0 at the leftmost side. And if you are extending the ASCII, then you can just omit that parity bit, and rather than using that parity bit, you can place another bit which could be 0 or 1. So then the case will be extended 2 to the power not 7, 2 to the power 8, and this will be supporting 256 characters, which is again the decimal range starting from 0 to 255. So this is all about ASCII. In the next session, I will be discussing about the UTF encoding scheme. These are also encoding schemes like ASCII. If there is any doubt, let me know. And thanks for being with me for a long time. Thank you for watching.